Living rooms are the most common hotspots in the entire home because this is a place where the entire family comes together. At the same time, if you're inviting your near and dear ones to your place, living room is again one of the most commonly used spaces. Now, because of all of this, the entertainment setup in the living room is definitely a need. At the same time, if you're living in metro cities, you know that having a dedicated cinema room is not a luxury that everybody can afford. And that is why I am going to run you through one such living room that we recently handed over with an ultra short throw projector, a floor rise up screen, and a nice tower setup which can also act as a great party speakers in the house. So let's begin. Let us first understand the dimensions of this living room. Now this room is 24 feet by approximately 13.5 feet. Now most of you know that when you are sitting at anywhere between 20 to 24 feet, the TVs are not going to do a great justice to bring a nice big screen entertainment. For those reasons, projector screen was one of the go-to choices that we had identified in this case. Now the only question was whether to go for a long throw projector or to settle in with an ultra short throw projector. Now if you carefully look at the layout, you will see that in the front area where the screen is, on its right hand side we have an extension of wall. Now this wall extension acts like a good barrier to cut down the light reflection in the front area. Whereas the sitting area has an opening, and that is why the light coming in that area from outside is a little high. Now obviously because it's a living room, the choice of a long throw projector is generally restricted if you can go for an ultra short throw projector. Because ultra short throw projectors can offer a much more higher brightness when paired with the ultra short throw ALR screen. So the clear cut winner in this selection was an ultra short throw projector with a minimum 120 inches diagonal screen. But then came up another challenge. Now we all know that ultra short throw projector screens are available in three formats. One is a fixed frame screen, the second one is a ceiling recessed screen, and the third one is a floor rise up screen. Now when you put a fixed frame screen, it's going to act like a TV which is permanently installed on the wall. But that does not look very nice, especially in the living rooms where you have most of the wall covered with only one color fabric screen. And that is why the client along with the designer decided to not have a fixed frame screen. He wanted to opt for either the ceiling recessed or the floor riser. Now for ceiling recessed, if you see, there is a window on the left hand side. So clearly when you have the air wind gushing in, the screen is bound to move, especially for the ceiling ones. But the floor rise up has got a very sturdy bars at the back which ensures that the screen stays still and does not move or cause any greases on the fabric. Now for those reasons, the ultra short throw ALR screen with a floor rise up option was the one that we decided to go ahead with. And since it's a living room where we were looking to have one of the brightest projectors, we decided to go ahead with the Epson LS800B ultra short throw laser projector. Now while these were the options that we picked for the video system, the audio system had clear understanding. The client wanted a good sounding speaker which could cover a distance of 24 feet. And that is why we had to settle in with nothing less than the tower speakers. Now most of the times when you go for tower speakers, you need some space next to the cabinet. Now a 120 inches the drawer cabinet that we created for this projector and the screen was itself consuming around 10 feet of space, leaving us with approximately 18 inches to 20 inches on both the sides. And that is exactly the space that we knew a good floor standing speaker would need. Now to compensate on the overall cost and to still be in the best price range without compromising on the audio, we decided to go ahead with the Bronze 500 from Monitor Audio. Now the beauty of this speakers is that it's an 8 inches driver speaker which ensures that the sound opens up and gives a nice wide soundstage in the front. So even if you're sitting at a distance of 24 feet and the wall in front of you is only 13.5 feet, you will still have a sound experience from the front felt as if you are sitting in a big room with 20 feet by 20 feet dimensions. Now that's the beauty of going for a bigger driver size where the opening flare really matters and you have a better sound output for the room. The center is from the same bronze series. The surrounds are again the same bipolar speakers from Monitor Audio to ensure that we have a little better sound coverage. And then the ceiling speakers are again Monitor Audio. Now the entire configuration is 5.1.2 where we made 2-3 different provisions for the subwoofer because we were not quite sure where the subwoofer would really perform well, and this is a practice that we follow in most of our projects. Because unlike all the speakers in a Dolby format, subwoofer does not have a fixed position. It can work well in the front, it can work well in the back, it can work well in the middle, and that is why you need to have the subwoofer cables laid in different areas so that during the final calibration, when your room aesthetics and the acoustics are in place, we can test the subwoofer's performance in different locations. And for this project, we could figure out that post the sofas and the room being in shape, the subwoofer worked better when kept near to the sofa. So these extra wiring provisions that are done for the subwoofer can still be handy in future, where in case we want to jump from one subwoofer to two subwoofer performance, the wires will be in place, the sockets will be in place, and all we have to do is just get the subwoofer home. Now, one of the most commonly asked questions when we do home theaters in the living room is that, do I need acoustics for this? Well, acoustic, irrespective of the room choice, is always better because it is going to enhance the sound performance. Now, in this case, because it's not a cinema room, we cannot have a wall-to-wall carpet. But because the speaker choice was very, very clear that it is a floor standing speaker, we knew that there is a lot of sound that will bounce off from the floor. So we recommended to go for a thick pile loose carpet on the floor. Similarly, we have two windows that needs to be covered up when we want to have a nice immersive home cinema experience. For that reason, double laid curtains were recommended, which will have a nice blackout even when required during the daytime. Now these come in handy, especially if you want to have a great immersive experience. However, they are not mandatory, especially when you're going for an ultra short throw projector with an ultra short throw ALR screen. Now, one of the most critical element in any ultra short throw projector installation is the cabinet. And this is one area where I have seen so many people make big mistakes. When you're spending high amount of money on the projector and on the screen, you do not want to make small mistakes in the placement of it. And that is where the cabinet, which is a complex element and has multiple devices, AVR, center speaker, projector, screen, and your media sources. Not to forget, all of the cables of the room are also going to come in that small cabinet. So that is where we at Tap AV, we really master into getting this right. We follow all the small details, dimensions which are up to and we try and make more and more 2D, 3D designs of this cabinet so that we don't have any problems when we have the final products brought to the site. Now in this case as well, we ensure that the products reach the site well on time. The carpenters are communicated very well on the required arrangements, and our engineers, when they visit the site, they take care of the necessary arrangements. Now all of this, when planned and executed properly with the right guidance, I am pretty sure that things cannot go south. So in case you are planning for an ultra short throw setup and don't know how to go about it, don't forget to check the link that is shared in the description. Since you have come so far with me on this video, I know that you are definitely waiting for the price. But before I do that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because if you are looking for more such fancy setup tours of home theater, especially in the Indian market, as well as if you're looking for more tips and tricks, product reviews, or product comparisons, this subscribe button, which is free for you, will mean a lot for us. Moving on to the price of this entire setup. Now, for an ultra short throw projector with the ultra short throw ALR floor rise up screen and for a Monitor Audio bronze 500 5.1.2 setup with a Denon AV receiver, the total price that we are looking for in this setup is not more than 8.5 lakh rupees. Now these prices are subject to offer prices decided during the price list that were released during the product or the project finalization. Today's price point I would still expect not somewhere more than 9 lakh rupees. So in case you are planning for a similar setup, you can plan for your budgets likewise. Now apart from this living room that we managed to do for the client, there's one more bedroom where we got a nice entertainment setup delivered with the Bowers & Wilkins satellite 5.1.2 speaker package and a Marantz slimline AV receiver. So I'm going to leave you with the glimpses of this bedroom as well as the living room setup once again. And if you want to design such home theater setups, don't forget to check the link that is shared in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for watching. I, Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theater wale bhaiya, will see you again in the next one. Bye bye.